Yes. What's going on, Pete's man? Back in the building. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody, man. I hope everyone is blessed. Big up Morris, man, in the building, bright and early. Yeah, man. I thought obviously the aftermath of the Liverpool getting knocked out of the Champions League and all of that, I was gonna say good stuff, but all of that bad stuff. I said, all right, let's find out like what's kind of going on. Like I really wanted to know where everyone's head is kind of at. And then I think last night, big up ends because I've literally just I'm even watching the last 5 minutes of his stream or video yesterday. Him obviously talking about how David Ornstein mentioned about how Arne Slot is effectively going to stay here moving forward. So it looks like that's something as Liverpool fans we just you're stuck between a rock and a hard place at this point, because we've spoken about it before. Like obviously there was always this caveat, oh, if he wins the Champions League, how could you? And I know Dean, big up Dean, man, he mentioned this the other day about, if he wins the Champions League, as much as we might want him to leave, the owners might not see it that way. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they might not see it in the way that we as fans would obviously see it, in terms of, oh yeah, we still want him to go. Do you know what I mean? We still want him to bounce. We don't want him to stay regardless of what he does. Now, obviously for us as fans, because we, I guess, know what we like. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We don't really care about that sentimental side of things. We don't really care about whatever it is that he does. We're just not enjoying what's kind of going on. So for us, I guess, you know what I mean? We understand. For them, I understand from their point of view. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think, listen, big up to Savage. Big up to Savage, because he said from time, this brother's staying. And we didn't want to believe it at first, because we thought, nah, bro, come on. Like, if you keep losing like this, surely, do you get what I'm saying? But he just always had that kind of belief. And then the round table came out. And I said this the other day, when the round table came out, yeah, that was job done. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there was nothing after that point. Like why would they sack him? You come out, and obviously not verbally. They didn't do it verbally in terms of like, yeah, now we back the manager in that kind of sense, in terms of the actual words verbatim. But you know what I'm saying? Like they basically did. Do you get what I mean? Like they wouldn't have done that for someone that they were getting or looking to sack. I mean, unless Liverpool were like 10th, then even then, I still think they would just look at this season, which from their point of view, I kind of understand, because they're probably just thinking, oh, this is just a blip. Obviously, I don't think they would allow this to continue into next season. But remember, they're probably looking at it more long term, because obviously we're looking at it more in the here and now. Obviously, we don't care about 6 months' time, 7 months' time, come October. Before we know, come October, Liverpool are top of the league, and you know what I mean, by 10 points and doing well in the Champions League. Isak has got 20 goals. Like, I have no idea. So they're probably trying to almost potentially bank on that. And I guess from a business standpoint, I'm like, yo, yeah, okay. I do semi get it, but listen, I don't like it. That's definitely not to say, oh yeah, I love this situation that Liverpool are in and all these other various different kind of things. So yeah, man, this, like I said, this stream was just more to just kind of look at. And big up Trudon, big up M Tom Easy, big up Morris, again in the building. Why is your picture months? I just realized with the Champions League, as European knockout results are garbage. Why is your picture months? That's just what I want to know. That's what I want to know. But yeah, I think, like I said, this stream was this video was more to kind of look at, like, whose fault is it at this point now? Oh, and it's actually probably good that David Ornstein piece, obviously, or tweet that he obviously put out. It's actually good that he probably put that out last night, to be fair to you, because now we can really look at it and say, yo, like, on a level, if this were to continue, now obviously there's always the other side that, like, I can't look at it just from one POV. Like, there's got to be the other side, in terms of Liverpool could end up turning this around. Things could just be just a blip and whatever. Fair enough. Ultimately we have to look at it from that kind of angle as well. But the reality is, for me anyway, I'm like, right, so whose fault is it? Like, where do we go from here as a football club in a general sense, right? So you're looking at it from the perspective of the board. You're looking at it from obviously the perspective of Arne Slot, the players, and then obviously I heard, like I say, I heard N speaking about this yesterday. You also look at it from the perspective of fans as well, in terms of the loyalty, which can be commendable from Liverpool fans. Much of the surface, nah, first, yeah, the loyalty from fans. Obviously, does that somehow play a part in terms of we've heard it all season, the Liverpool way. That's not what we do. This means more. Like those kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of phrases and stuff like that. Does that play a part? And obviously, listen, let's not act like, you know what I mean, John Henry and the rest of the FSG guys and Michael Edwards, obviously, who's been in for a long time. Let's not act like they don't know Liverpool. They know. You know what I mean? Yes, they may not be, well, in terms of John Henry and the rest of them, they might not be football clued up in that kind of sense, but they understand Liverpool. They understand the fans. They know they got lucky. Do you know what I'm saying? This ain't a Chelsea. This ain't a Manchester United. This ain't and even Man United. Look, they've still got the Glazers. But yeah, this ain't those kind of clubs. Do you get what I'm saying? Like those type of clubs where it's like, bro, you come in and you know what I mean. We're gonna protest. We're gonna say something. Do you get what I'm saying? Chelsea, when they got the new owners in, bro, they're not all protesting. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we just don't seem like we would do that. Chelsea, I could see them doing that, but with Liverpool, I don't really see them, or Liverpool fans, should I say? I don't really see them actually doing that. And I feel like when you like with the Glazers, to be fair, as much as Manchester United fans, I think they have protested before. I want to say, I'm sure they've done it during a game, but one, the Glazers obviously are still, I guess, somewhat in charge or whatever. But I think with them, it's still that kind of loyalty. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can moan about Jim Radcliffe, for example. You can keep moaning about him, but you're still going to keep going to the games. You're still going to keep talking about, you know what I mean, like, supporting Manchester United, and it's deeper than that. And again, traditional football clubs, I don't know, but I just always feel like with Liverpool, Man United, I guess I can see them actually doing it, having obviously watched them do it. With Liverpool, I just feel like we just look at it from a perspective of, yeah, that's not really our kind of thing, you know. Like we'd rather moan about the ticket prices than we would moan about the team and stuff like that. Now, by the way, that's a fair thing to moan about, especially if the prices are obviously getting hiked up and etc. etc. But when it comes to the manager, no, we're good with that. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, people continue to moan, and that's the bit that always throws me. You still continue to moan about the manager, but you're not really doing anything, I would say, about it. You're not really venting your frustration, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Like if people really didn't like the manager, or really felt like, okay, you know what, it's maybe time that the manager were to leave and stuff like that, then I feel like they would do a bit more. But I don't really feel like Liverpool fans do that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like again, it is a tricky one because you don't want to end up going down that kind of route of those type of clubs. But ultimately, if you're not happy with something, you're quite powerful. You can say something. You can do something. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't have to just keep quiet. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I feel like that's just something that we just as a fan base, I just feel like that's just what we do. But it is what it is, man. But we'll get into it. We're going to take a look at, like I said, all the sections and that. So, like I said, the board, manager, and the players. Biggs, if you're a top manager, you adapt to the team you inherit. If you buy players and you are part of the decision process, again, it's all on you. The tactics, the way we set up, along with man management. Yeah, 100%, man. I think that's it. Obviously, everything is very contextual. So what type of club are you going into? What's the expectations now, and let's say the next three to 4 years? What does that kind of look like? What's the expectations from manager to board? Do you get what I'm trying to say? What is he looking for from them? Obviously that's gonna, the two go hand in hand, and you do well, then we can obviously reward you with, you know, money and things like that to keep improving. But obviously where we had Jurgen Klopp for such a long time, didn't spend any money, and you know, we just weren't that type of club where having the summer we just had, for example. Yeah, like I say, these things do go hand in hand, but I also feel like the sense of direction is a little bit. So yeah, you as a manager, your only job, I guess, is really to obviously be able to coach the team and allow the team to be able to flourish to the best of their own ability. That's all you can hope for. Whatever that best ability is, that's all you can do. If that best ability means you finish fifth, then fairs. I can't ask for more because you're already doing the best that you can possibly do, and maybe the players are just not good enough. But it doesn't seem to me that he's been able to really adapt, so to speak. But again, we'll have to kind of wait and see. Salah FC, in my opinion, just imagine the Salah drama. Just image the Salah drama. Had Klopp even considered getting a right winger to rotate with Salah? Yeah. Oh, Salah FC. Yeah. No, I hear it. We'll talk about that. Has been poor, and it all stems from the managers, not the hierarchy. The manager alone carries this responsibility. I hear it. I'm not even going to disagree. Man United had drama with Cristiano. Gia was great, but team was poor and couldn't kick on with our Cristiano occupying lead role. Yeah, but I don't feel like that was a Man United drama. I feel like that was just more of a him drama more than anything else. Because prior to that, there wasn't that level of, I say that level of drama. I don't know. It's a weird one with United, man, because they seem to have been going through. Well, maybe up until recently, it's not like that. But yeah, they're a bit like a circus, if I'm being totally honest with you. Like constant leaks coming out of the football club, and yeah, they just always seem like something's kind of going on. Obviously, it's difficult because you got to realize like this has been the most successful football club since I've been alive, in terms of English club, should I say? So from when they've been that successful for so long, to then have it's almost like I don't know. I almost feel like with United, it's almost like you didn't want to get to grips with the fact that you're here now. You used to be the guy in the ends. You know what I'm saying? Like you used to be the man. You know, like 50 Cent says, you used to be the man, homie. But yeah, like it's we now look at you like, right, like you're not that guy anymore. And I feel like you don't seem to understand that you're not that guy. So you keep trying to move as if you're that guy. You keep trying to behave as if you're still the guy, but you're not the guy. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there are other people now who are the guys. Manchester City as an example. They are better than you, better club. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They are a better run football club than you. May not be as big commercially, of course, but everything else in terms of just them as a football club, way better than Manchester United. For the type of club Manchester United are, the standards that they set for the last 20, 25 years, this for me is embarrassing for a football club the size of Manchester United. It's beyond embarrassing, the fact that you've gotten to this kind of stage. Do you get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I reference Mbappe, PSG, same drama. PSG now without Mbappe kicked on. Yeah, like I said, there's similarities. I'm not going to front there. There are definite similarities between the two. So yeah. No, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I think from outside perspective, managers, coaches are the yes men of today. I reckon if even Pep has final say, don't think Cherky will end up at City today. Just no. Again, I'm not. Again, I don't even disagree with that. MT, I really don't, because I do believe that managers of today are not really given the license to do. Would I say what? I don't know. It's a weird one because obviously people say that Klopp had the license to do what he wanted to do. I guess, but I guess that's when you reach a certain kind of level, right? And obviously, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And obviously, if you're abusing that power, then that's when it becomes a bit of an issue. But yeah, in today's game, you got to realize there's no. It's obviously just like in football. Excuse me. Just like in football, there's like this level of like the level of elite players, in my opinion, anyway, in terms of the amount of elite players. There are elite players, but the amount of elite players is far less than, say, when I was, let's just even say 2026. Let's even go with 2015, 2016. Let's say if you think back to that, even just that era in itself, the amount of elite players that were still playing, there was quite a lot. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like there was quite a lot, dotted around Europe. Whereas now I don't feel like there's a lot of them dotted around Europe. There are some, the Lamine Yamals, the Vitinhas, the Pedris, and who else can I even say is an elite player? Elise, Harry Kane, Mbappe, Haaland. Like these are obviously they're elite players, but I just don't feel like there's a lot of them kind of dotted around. It's the same thing for managers. Now, obviously, it might just be we're just going through that level of transition. Fairs, cool, but regardless, I'm going to call a spade a spade. When I'm looking at it on the landscape of it, I am a little bit like, yeah, when you think about managers, Pep is basically on an island on his own because of who he is, right? He might not even be, if you looked at it on form, Pep probably isn't the best manager in the world. Like if you just looked at it on like a form kind of basis, he probably wouldn't be considered the best manager in the world. Like over the last couple of seasons, I probably wouldn't call him that. I might more lean towards like an Enrique more than anything else. But Pep will obviously still be up there. Hansi Flick, those kind of guys, right? But outside of the Pep Guardiolas, obviously Ancelotti's now in Brazil. Who else is there? Tuchel obviously is with England. Whether people think he's elite or not, I don't know. But yeah, Tuchel with England, Ancelotti with Brazil, Pep obviously at City. You got Luis Enrique, Jose Mourinho. Again, would you consider him to be an elite? I personally wouldn't, but cool. That's kind of it, people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that, like for me anyway, that is, yeah, that's it. Do you know what I mean? There's like I can't think of. I'm trying to think of an elite manager, like a manager I would definitely say, nah, this guy is elite. That's kind of really it. So we're now getting into that wave. Unfortunately, Arne Slots, the Jabi Alonsos, Cesc Fabregases. God, who else is even out there? Flipping heck. Who's Napoli manager? That's Antonio Conte. I don't know. He's in like a weird space. I don't know where to really rank him. I mean, deep this year, the Real Madrid manager is Arbeloa. Now I understand, obviously, sacked to Jabi Alonso and whatever, cool, but it's Arbeloa. Like, if that doesn't scream the landscape of football, right? That's meant Arbeloa. At least they've had Benitez old school. Do you know what I'm saying? And he would be considered like, oh God, Benitez, Pellegrini's and Arbeloa, a guy who was managing their like youth teams, and that is crazy to me. That is so crazy. Arteta's not an elite manager, unfortunately for him. He can be. He definitely can be. Obviously, unfortunately, you, to, in the manager context, you have to win to be considered like you can't not win something big without being an elite manager. Like that is impossible for someone to say you're an elite manager, but you ain't won no big trophies whatsoever. But somehow you're just elite. Do you got, and I'm just talking league titles. Like, even if we just go there, just a league title. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, I'm not even putting Jabi Alonso in there. I'm not even saying he's elite because he hasn't really done it like that. Went to the elite level, kind of looking a bit spooky in the light. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just one of those kind of thing. But Gasperini, not an elite though. Good manager again. I'll be honest, he's in the realms of the Arne Slots. I know we don't rate Arne Slot, but he's in that realm, bro. I promise you, they're in the same kind of category. You might rank them differently. I always say this about players, like it's the same conversation that we had the other day. Yeah, was it on Enza's stream? When me and Jerry were talking about, because Jerry was adamant about the whole Semenyo, Anthony Gordon, and Cal as well. Yeah, me, Cal, Enz, and thing, and we were all talking about it. And I said, for me, they're all of the same level. Where you rank them, obviously, is going to determine how whatever, cool. But they're all in the same box. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're not like, oh yeah, this guy's in this box, and they're all kind of the same level. You just rank them a bit differently. So whether Semenyo is at the top of that, that's fine. But you're on the same kind of level as like and like I don't look at you like, oh yeah, well you're in this here, but then I just don't see it that way. I really don't. So yeah, I feel like these managers are the exact same. Arne Slot can't necessarily be considered lower than Xabi Alonso, because if people want to go by the rhetoric that the Premier League is so good, well, he won the Premier League in his first season. Bap, just like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So again, looking spooky in the light when you start looking at these things a bit deeply. It's just one of those. If Arsenal do the Champions League, Premier League double, it's a lot. Oh, yeah, bro, please don't put. Why are you putting negativity in the air, my guy? Trudon, come on. Zizou is a shout, but only in La Liga, plus a few UCL titles. Now waiting for Le Bleu. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, how can I not put a manager that won that many? Yeah, okay, I'll throw him in there. By default, I'll throw him in there. But I still feel like he looks spooky in the light. I don't know what it is, but I feel like if you gave him this Madrid team, I don't feel like he would do that well. Like Ancelotti did well, in my opinion, to get the best out of these players. Now, obviously, these guys are not bums. These are still some, in terms of reputation-wise, these are some of the biggest reputation players out there still. But yeah, when you're looking at it on the landscape of now, you're just kind of like, eesh, yeah, it's a little bit peak. It's a little bit peak, man. But so let's look at it first, man. Let's look at it first. So obviously you got the board, right? You got the board in terms of there we go. You got the board in terms of Richard Hughes, what he's kind of, would I say, and I'm only using Richard Hughes again. Savage again, so something. I listen. Savage mentioned this before. Obviously, people talk about, like, we all talk about like Michael Edwards, John Henry, and stuff like that. But really, I feel like it should be Richard Hughes. Is where, if you're talking about Liverpool board, and obviously again more to do that the transfer dealings and stuff like that, I feel like you need to kind of center your angle more towards Richard Hughes than say a Michael Edwards. I feel like Michael Edwards is doing a whole different type of job. Richard Hughes is doing the job of a Michael Edwards back in the day, if that kind of makes sense. Again, John Henry, listen, say what you want about FSG, and I'm not here to get into that kind of conversation because I really don't want that beef. But the reality is he's just there signing the checks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't really, yeah, it's just one of those kind of things. So I'm not really looking at the board FSG specifically, especially now. Maybe back in the day I could have, in terms of, come on, man, like loosen the purse strings a little bit. But now, how can I say loosen the purse strings, brother? You yeah, you cashed out. Did you get what I'm saying? Like, they can't have done, they've not done anything wrong, in my personal opinion, at this moment in time. I'm more looking at Richard Hughes. And I look at Richard Hughes, and obviously I sit there and I think to myself, obviously he's coming. Um, I don't really know what the reputation was. Like, obviously, I chat with the guys, I chat with the man them all the time, and Savage, Jerry, whatever. And I've listened to the guys speak as well. And again, I don't really know what the like, I don't know how they see the reputation of a Richard Hughes. I don't know, yeah, how they kind of look at him as an individual. And again, I don't really know how the people kind of took to him prior to him coming to Liverpool. I think when he came in, people were more happy or happier that Michael Edwards was coming than they were Richard Hughes. Understandable, because you didn't know Richard Hughes. We just knew that he was at Bournemouth, and we started looking at, oh, so these are the type of players that Bournemouth was signing, and look how good that they're doing. And then thinking, if he can replicate that at Liverpool, amazing. But he hasn't gone down that route anyway. But I think, yeah, prior to him coming to Liverpool, I think it was just more the fact that he was coming with Michael Edwards, and he had the Michael Edwards kind of a seal of approval. And once he had that seal of approval, everyone was kind of cool with the sheer fact that he was, oh, he's here. All right. If Edwards says, it's like, if your boy says, yo, like if your boy says, yeah, nah, you know what, he's calm. No, 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 he can, all right, cool. I trust my boy. And again, Liverpool fans, we trusted Michael Edwards. Do you get what I'm saying? We trust him so much that if he says my man is cool, he can come to the rave. He can come inside the club with us. He can come to my house for the house party and that. He's calm. Let him in. If he's with you, that's cool. What is he? Yeah, I know he's blessed. Don't worry, he's cool. Yeah, I mean, like, he's been about. Cool, no problem, absolutely no problem. And I feel like that is what's kind of happened with Richard Hughes. So the reputation wise, I don't really feel that people kind of really. I know some people spoke about it at Bournemouth, but again, I think they were looking at it more from the fact of, and this is what I always say about players: if you sign a player, right, for whatever it is they were doing at that football club, don't then bring him to your club and make him do something else. That doesn't make sense. Why did you bring him here in the first place? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, Morris, them ones there. But that's what football teams, a lot of football, not just Liverpool, a lot of football teams do that. You sign Gyökeres, you got man standing there like a fucking pole for no reason. These times you watched him at Sporting making runs like there's no man's business. You saw him at Sporting, runs in behind, closer to goal, constant chances. But yet you've got man just standing there feeding off scraps, feeding off pure and utter scraps. You got Isak in the team. When he was at Newcastle, what was happening? Jacob Murphy, Anthony Gordon, ball in the box, no question. Sometimes you don't even look, just put the ball in the box. Isak, as Enzo was saying the other day, Isak, stay between the posts. That we just need you here, bro. More or less. Obviously, there's going to be times when he likes to drift out wide when he's not getting the ball, and he likes to be a bit more involved and blah blah blah. But just in a general sense, Jacob Murphy, bro, I cannot. How many times did Jacob Murphy? I would love to. I might need to even check how many crosses did Jacob Murphy do in Isak's last season. I would love to see that. Ball in the box, ball in the box, ball in the box. That's it. Liverpool, you get him, and I mean, you've got two wingers who don't want to cross half the time. One, in fact, both of them want to cut in and shoot. So Isak just ends up just being there, which is another thing why I'm trying to figure out what his kind of vibe and role is going to be. And now that we're hearing that the manager's going to stay, yeah, that's that's going to be an interesting one. So yeah. I'm just a little bit miffed when you get someone like a Richard Hughes in. What he was good at was, again, and I might be misspeaking, so apologies to anybody watching this, but you get a Richard Hughes in, and then it turns into like, okay, I need, or he was doing Kirkes. I think he signed Kirkes, the Semenyos, Zabirnis, Howsons, and all of those kind of. I'm sure they were under obviously his watch, right? So you're thinking, okay, if that's what he can do at a Bournemouth level, obviously manager helps with that. But if he can do that at a Bournemouth level, then surely if we bring him to like a Liverpool level with more resources, more reach, more funds, more everything, surely then we can. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, surely you just replicate that. So now you can sign obviously a better quality of player, but still in the same kind of realm of maybe you don't sign Isak, but and this is why I rate him for obviously getting through Ekatike, but you sign Ekatike. That's basically the example. Instead of signing Isak, you sign Ekatike. Instead of signing Verts, you sign someone else, or you sign two players for that same price, which is what they should have done in the first place. It doesn't have to be two players in the same position, just a centre back, centre midfielder, as an example. That's what they probably should have done, because that's probably what he would have done at Bournemouth. But it almost came to the thing of, and I've heard Arne Slot obviously talking about this in terms of, yeah, Liverpool had to sell these players, and then it's almost like he wanted to make a statement. We're going into this new era. We're not under Jurgen Klopp anymore. That's done and dusted. We're going into this new era. Obviously, he's coming off of the back of the sheer fact that Liverpool won the league in the first season. Now, that gives them, for themselves, that gives them a lot of, I guess, in their eyes, credit. That the credit in the bank, as everyone keeps talking about. You get that in their eyes, they get that credit in the bank. But we just won the league in the first season without Jurgen Klopp. You guys thought we were going to be this bad last season. Guess what? We won the league. Now what? Forget how I feel. Forget how you feel, Trudon, Morris. You know what I'm saying? Liz, wherever she's at, honesty, goal ratio. Forget all that, Biggs, all of you. Forget how we felt watching the football. They are looking at it on the stat sheet, on the numbers, and saying, yo, guess what? We won the league in the first season. You can't chat to me. You can't speak to me. Can't speak to me any type of way. You better come with respect when you talk to me. I brought you guys the league. So and I understand the arrogance. I totally understand it, bro. You won the league in the first season. No one expected that. So guess what? You're thinking, bro, I got to be a hero around here. So you then have the summer that you then have. Forget the players that we sold, because I'm tired of hearing about, yeah, net spend. I don't give a, bro, if I go to the shop and I have 3 bags and I go into Balenciaga and I spend 3 bags, but I don't know, I do a job and I make 2 bags from that job. What do you mean my net spend is a bag? No, I spent 3 bags in Balenciaga. there's no net, like I didn't spend a bag in Balenciaga. I spent £3,000. Like my receipt came to £2,999.99. That's what the receipt came to. It didn't come to £1,000 because I did a job and I made £1,000. No, I spent 3,000. I've got the products here in my wardrobe of just Balenciaga. All of this cost me 3 bags. Do you get what I'm saying? There's none of this, yeah, net spend. No, forget the net spend. Liverpool spent 450 odd million in the summer. That's all Richard Hughes, and obviously with the co-sign of John Henry and Michael Edwards. But that's a Richard Hughes thing. These are the players that he wanted to get because he felt that these are the players that are going to come into the football club and they're going to help. Now, let's not all get twisted. We did think, as much as I'm a pessimistic person, I didn't think Liverpool would be this bad. I definitely didn't think that. I definitely thought that like Liverpool would at least be the same level as last season. That was my minimum. Was like, I think I don't think, and I don't think last season was good, but that will be the lowest that you would be. And I think it'd be worse than this. That's crazy. That's crazy. Big up, Scraps. That's mad. What, to think Liverpool would be worse than this? As dead as I think the manager, what, to be this bad? To think that Florian Wirtz would be almost a waste of 116 million? To think that Isak, even though he will get the blind because he's been injured, looks shit. Let's call the spade as he looks shit. Even the fact that he looks crap, like he actually looks crap. He looks like I don't even know. Like I'm genuinely wondering. I'm like, it's a pro. Like I need to see you at full fitness to really say. But I'm looking at you now and I'm like, whew, you look like if someone told me to come and play football today, like a 90-minute match, brother, I'll be fucking dead. You think I'll last 45 minutes? That's a myth. I ain't lasting no 45 minutes. You better bring me on a sub in the last 10. You know what I'm saying? When the stakes are a bit higher, people are making mistakes and tired, then I can come on and, you know what I mean? That's a bit different. So like that's what he's looking at. Frimpong just been injured the whole time that he's been here. Just injured for no reason. Kirkes, looking like a crackhead when he first came here, had I guess a somewhat decent period. Still question marks about him. Leone, obviously, he gets the blight because he obviously got injured in his first game. There's nothing you can obviously really do about that. So I ain't getting onto him. Who else is there? I think that's it, innit? Yeah, because Liverpool didn't sign no attackers. So yeah, that's it. And that was it. That was the problem. You didn't sort out the issues that I felt that you had, which is you still needed to sign. Obviously, you tried to sign Gay. Well, I say you tried to sign Gay. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to go through the comments in a sec. So, any questions, by the way, people, just throw them in. I'll start everything. I know you tried to sign Gay in the summer, and then you tried to. Well, you didn't even try to go back in for him. I think in January. Obviously, you got Jackie in as well, but didn't sign a centre back. You didn't get a midfielder, which I keep telling people, and I said it last summer. I know everybody talks about we need a centre back, we need a centre back, we need a centre back. Guys, I don't know how much more I can stress to you. The most important position that Liverpool need to sign is not a centre back. It is a midfield. I promise you, Liverpool will be better for it. I'm not saying don't get both. Just listen to what I'm saying. Liverpool will be better for it if you only had one choice between a centre back and a midfielder. I promise you, you'll be happier if you got a midfielder than if you got a centre back, regardless of if Liverpool ain't got no centre backs. I promise you. You could throw anybody in there. Like I genuinely, you could just throw a Gravenberch back there, and I don't think the result would change that much. I really don't. The midfield is the most important position for me. Like in today's game, anyway, it is the most important. All the teams that we consider to be ballers, all the teams that we consider to be, oh my god, they have a midfielder in there that you're like, okay, this guy is of a different kind of level. Pedri at Barcelona, alongside De Jong, Vitinha, Joao Neves, Fabian. do you get what I'm saying? Like these are the teams. Rodri, Manchester City, Declan Rice, as whether you rate him or not, but Declan Rice at Arsenal. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Look at the teams other than maybe Bayern Munich, and again, Bayern Munich, I would still say like Kimmich because he's been doing pretty well this season. But it depends again on how you rate him or how you don't kind of rate him. Look at Real Madrid. That attack is amazing. Mbappe, Vinicius, you know what I'm saying? Like those two alone are better than most people in terms of just name and stuff like that. Midfield, yeah. I will throw in Valverde, but yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's like they probably need a better one or another one in there, and then maybe a different type of guy. But you've got Camavinga, you got True, you got all of these guys who I think are reputation-wise massive players. But yeah, do you get what I'm saying? The elite teams have the elite midfielders. Everywhere else, you can kind of Barcelona, as we just watched, one of the best teams in Europe. Their back line is Kubasi and freaking Martin Garcia, and that's a dead back line. Kubasi is the only good one. Balde, obviously, whenever he's there. But it's like, yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just one of those. Like, you need that eliteness. You need that kind of just midfielder. I don't know what that midfielder looks like for Liverpool. I really, really don't. Like, I don't know who Liverpool could get. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And that's why I go back to Richard Hughes. You didn't do that in the summer. That was an area that you looked at. And I understand, I guess, from a certain degree that you've got McAllister, Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, obviously Endo, even though we ain't seen him for time, Trey, Inyoni, blah, 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 right? You look at, I guess, in numbers wise, you felt like you probably had enough. But just because you've got enough doesn't mean you've got the quality. It should always be quality over quantity for me. Always. I don't mind because then things become a lot more acceptable. Oh, we don't have Barcelona ain't got Pedri and De Jong because they're injured. Oh, that makes sense as to why they're dead, as an example. PSG are a bit different because they've got a bag of midfielders who are just all at stupid levels. Zaire Emery obviously is obviously there. Fabianos, who's been injured, you know what I mean, for large majority of the season. So yeah, obviously it's a bit different over there because you've got so many. But again, quality over quantity. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that was where Liverpool messed up. Didn't replace Luis Diaz. This, by the way, this revisionism, I'll go through the comments now. This revisionism with Luis Diaz, I'll talk about it in a sec. Hughes failed to get a midfielder and forward, not Chiesa. Yeah, but I even forget about Chiesa. Opportunity to sell and replace Nunez in Jan last summer, failed to replace Diaz and get Gay over the line. Over 100%, bro. Welcome to the unknown, 100%. 100%. But if we're not careful, we could end up like Man United, quality players, wrong manager. Very true. Very, very true. And I guess that might be something that they're potentially looking at, if I'm being honest. What else is there? Now, what did Trent's brother say? Excuse me. What did he say now, man? I know these people are a bit mad. Big up Luge, man. Big up Luge, man. I hope you're doing well this morning, man. Hope you're doing well. We've needed a proper midfield for about 6. Oh, Luge. How many windows? This is what I said, midfielder. And the thing is, Luge, yeah, I've always said I'm not even so hung up on the 6 element sort of thing, because I'll use PSG because I like their players, right? Sorry, I know I keep going back to them. I'll use Barcelona as well. At Barcelona and PSG, who's the 6? Just to get to the answer, I have no idea. I don't know if Pedri's a number 6. I don't know if De Jong is a number 6. I don't know if Joao Neves is a number 6. I don't know if Vitinha is a number 6. Fabian, Zaire, I don't know who the number 6 is. That is why I don't necessarily care about a 6. For me, it's not about having a number 6, someone who just sits there. I don't want my midfield to do that anyway. I don't like midfielders like that, because I feel like with midfielders like that, you're very limited in what you can actually do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because then it becomes about, well, you've only got this one guy, but if this one guy doesn't play, then the team just, for me, the whole midfield needs to be able to play all positions. You need to be able to play 6, 8, 10. PSG, they can all do that. Barcelona, they can all do that. They can all play in all facets of that. I'm not saying they are elite in every single one, but they are top class in every single one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then they've got their one, whichever one you want to pick, is then obviously their elite level kind of thing. But that's why I'm never really too hung up on the whole fact of needing a 6, because I also don't feel like I feel like football's moved away from that. You don't need that anymore. You just need 3 midfielders who can all rotate amongst each other and can all play different positions, and then you're good to go. Yes, you'll have the one who naturally does certain things. So Joao Neves naturally will make more tackles just because of the type of player that he is. Vitinha, though, will probably make more interceptions. Fabian or Zaire Emery will probably just kind of do the two together. It's quite equal, it's quite balanced. So again, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want Liverpool to sign a 6 because I don't want the team to have a midfielder who sits in front of the defense. I just feel you just need to have, more functional midfielders. Tell me Inyoni wouldn't have offered more than me. Oh, 100%. I don't understand why Inyoni's not playing. I don't know if he thinks, right, this guy's going to get eaten up in this midfield. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's too slight. I don't know, because I get baffled every single time I'm like, why isn't Inyoni playing? I don't get that. Gee, what's the sample size in numbers for how many midfielders an elite team should have today's football? 3 is what you should have. If we're talking about an elite side, right? I feel like you probably should have about 3 midfielders, and then the others are not going to be elite. They're going to be like, I don't think Zaire Emery's elite. I don't think who's the other guy that got a midfield? I don't think anybody else in Barcelona's team or midfield is elite outside really of Pedri. De Jong is like very close up there, but again, I feel like 2 to 3 at a high level, at the bare minimum. Let me. Maybe I'm using the word elite too loosely. You just need to be at a really high level, but 2 to 3 of those have to be there. The rest of them have to then almost be at the level that these lot are at now, if that kind of makes sense. Like, at Liverpool, this is their high level. For even, you know what? Go back to last season as an example. You know what? Use Gravenberch from last season. Use Zabozalai from this season. Use McAllister in his last season at Brighton. Right? Take those three players at their best. That for me is your minimum. There needs to be a level above that. Like you could, if that is what them man had, like on a consistent basis as a like as backup. Oh my God, Liverpool. I would I wouldn't be talking like this about Liverpool. I would never, because I'll be like, bro, that's a good level to have as, and you've got someone who's higher than this. Yeah, that's to me, that's kind of crazy. Do you get what I'm saying? That is kind of crazy. But remember that first of all, we've not seen these lot have those kind of that kind of consistency at those levels, and that is their best level. We haven't even seen that consistently, but that is their highest level. So I'm like, like that's why I never really rate it. Whereas I've seen Pedri's at highest level. We're watching Vitinha at his highest level, Joan Neves at his highest level. Again, I don't rate that many midfielders, but we've seen Rodri Ballon d'Or levels. We've seen them. Again, I don't rate that many midfielders in terms of at the elite level anyway, but those guys, that's a level. Now, not everybody can have those kind of players. I get that. But you then, in my opinion, you just need to have players who, like I say, if they're going to perform like Zabozalai this season, like Gravenberch last season, like McAllister in his last season at Brighton, like World Cup winning season, that needs to be, yeah, that's the minimum level that we have at a team like Liverpool. And I feel like that's the thing that annoys me. You got a team like Liverpool, then you claim to be this massive club. You claim to be this big institution. You claim to all of these kind of different things, but then you move like someone who's timid, who's scared. Pump up your chest a bit. If you're gonna talk the talk, bro, pump up your chest a little bit. Look at me ranting. Hi, we need another transfer window. Shall we tell us who's? Yeah. Don't worry. I know Enz is probably doing one later on this evening, but don't worry. I will be definitely once the season is finished. Those shows will come in full effect. So yeah, don't worry. Realistic one as well, just so I can see what you would want Liverpool to do. Yeah. What? Because once I know where, I think because right now I don't really have clarity. I don't really know, and it's that, and that goes on to the next thing I was going to say. Before we move on, I don't really have clarity. I don't really know as to where Liverpool are really going. We need a passer desperately. The rest is with a good manager to set up the midfield. But yes, that's what I'm saying, Luge. No passer in the midfield. Like that should even just be a basic requirement. Especially, don't you find it funny? Especially with a Dutch manager like Arne Slot, who wants to play total football. Don't you feel that he should have at least had one midfielder who can do that? Basically, I'm a Real Madrid fan first because of Trent at Liverpool. I'm going for a piss. Like PSG pissed on Liverpool. Your team got cooked. I hear it. That's why I want players like Wharton and Kamara, who are not sixes but solid eights, who are good on the ball. Yeah, I like Wharton. I really like Wharton. I know people don't really like him. I like Wharton. Like, I like him more than I like Elliot Anderson. I don't really feel. I feel like Elliot Anderson is just Declan Rice, just done differently. Do you know what I mean? And that's not to disrespect, because I like Declan Rice. I think he's a good player. Would never say he isn't. But it's just like, oh yeah, that's just your basic English midfielder. Do you know what I'm saying? Like nothing really fancy about them. Don't really have a USP or anything like that. They're just a midfielder, probably the best in their school at the time because they could run around a lot and they had probably a bit more technique than everybody else. Like just basic guys, man. I think it was set up for failure for Slot. He's not the manager; he's a head coach, so that has already undermined him. His family don't even live in the country; they still don't live here. I did not know that. I thought they came. Okay, he hasn't put down roots either. Maybe he knows he's only here for 3 years. Maybe I don't know. I said this the other day. Liverpool almost. If Manchester United could have done it differently, obviously, if Liverpool could have done it differently, in Ferguson's last season, he won the league. Yeah, he won the league in his last season. Then he appointed David Moyes. Had they done it properly, and David Moyes had come in Fergie's last season, won the league with those, because those set of players were dead, but won the league with those or with that team, and then go into the next season and almost do whatever. I feel like the transition would have been a bit, obviously it's a bit different because he was there for so long, but the transition I felt would have been a bit different. He came in, bang, I need to go and sign this guy, Fellaini, this guy, that guy, boom. Obviously you're imprinting. You want to imprint your own philosophy, but it was almost like a slap in the face to the guys or the Rios and stuff. It almost felt like it was too much at that point in time. The Wayne Rooney's and stuff like that. I don't know if he was there actually at the time, but yeah, it was almost like a slap in the face. I felt anyway at that moment in time, and then it was too harsh. Liverpool, it's almost like the same thing. The difference is that Slot won his in his first season. Had that been Klopp's team, then it obviously would have been more or less the exact same thing. But you would have thought that the transition would be a lot better because you say, oh, he comes in, wins it with that Klopp team. So you come in, you win it with that Klopp team, and then then you can start doing whatever it is you want to do because then you can start implementing your style and blah blah blah. But you did that, which is how I feel that it should be done. But then it looks so rubbish, like, and that's why I'm almost like, are you that dead? Like, is it that like, are you that rubbish? Like, that's why sometimes I genuinely sit and think, bro, you had the perfect way of how people would want it done. You have that team, you win the league with the last remnants of that team. You win the league, the Trent Alexander-Arnolds, or the Salahs, the Van Dijks. You win the league with that team that Klopp obviously had. You do exactly what I thought you should do. And then the next season, you can go and sign whoever you want to sign. But then you do that, and it just looks shit. Like, so I don't know anymore. I don't know. And I think it just goes to the kind of, would I say, the direction of the football club. What is Liverpool's direction? What is it Liverpool trying to do moving forward? We understand that you're quite patient. We understand that you give people chances. We understand that, you're not going to just pull the trigger. We understand that, you want to do things a certain way. But what type of player is Liverpool trying to go in for in the summer? We've heard Arne Slot come out and mention about Liverpool going to have to sell to buy again. I thought those days were done in a general sense. Obviously, I know you still kind of want to sell to buy in a sense, because you don't want to still be in that kind of position. But you know what I mean? In terms of, I thought that kind of talk was out of Liverpool now. Big up Jerry, because Jerry said this time ago, if these Liverpool signings don't work, he said this last season before we even kicked a ball. If these Liverpool signings don't work, are Liverpool going to go back in again to the transfer market and spend again? Arne Slot has seemingly given us the answer. Seemingly given us the answer. Because we ain't doing that. He's telling everybody, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And that's where I look at Liverpool and I'm like, what is your direct? I have no idea. Hence why I can't even do a transfer show, because I'm like, it doesn't make sense, because I don't know where you're trying to go. Like, what type of player can you sign? Do you know what I mean? Is it dependent on where you finish? The team looks so bad. I don't know if it makes sense to get these people. Elise, why would he downgrade? That doesn't even make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, to me, the only way you'd even be with a chance of signing Elise is you'd have to pay 200 million. You have to pick. Yeah, you'd have to give Bayern an amount of money that they just think, bro, we can't turn that down for one player. We can sign bare players with this. That Liverpool would have to overpay. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just feel like right now you can't really do that, because you need so many other positions. Robertson going, you need left back. Salah obviously going, but you need like maybe at least two wingers. Ekitike is now injured, obviously unforeseen, so I'm not going to blame that on the board. Unforeseen, you're going to need another striker now, 100%. Regardless of the fact that Isak is here, minimum you need is two strikers. Minimum. Can't have one striker, that's long. Not him anyway, because he's always injured anyway. So you need the two. Defense, we already know. Right back, I'm not convinced on any of the right backs Liverpool have. You definitely, in my opinion, need to be signing a next right back. Now what? But we'll talk about it when the time comes. Like I say, what's the direction of Liverpool Football Club? Where are they trying to go? What are they trying to do? If you guys can answer that question for me, then I reckon I'll be able to give you a better assessment as to how I see things for Liverpool. But right now, the sense of direction for Liverpool Football Club, it's no one can tell me. It's so lost. There is no real sense of direction. And I think the only thing Liverpool as a club can cling on to is we're just going to keep the manager. As long as we keep the manager, it looks like we've got a level of continuity. It looks like we have a plan. And to be fair, that you would have a plan. Just whether that plan is good enough is it remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. So yeah, the next part, Arne Slot. Arne Slot. Yeah. I don't know where. I'm trying to think, like, I don't really know where you begin with someone like Arne Slot, right? It's like Jose living in a hotel. United, you would struggle to connect. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Um, sorry, I started off by saying I don't really know where. Obviously, want him to leave, blah blah blah. But yeah, whatever. As David Ornstein just said or said last night, yeah, no, Liverpool looks like they're keeping him. Looks like they're keeping him. So if Liverpool are keeping Arne Slot, I think us as fat bro, we're gonna just have to get used to it now. We can't keep complaining. Well, we can keep complaining, but we're not gonna do anything necessarily about it. Do you get what I'm saying? So if we're not gonna do anything necessarily about it, at what point does it then just become a case of like, well, we're just gonna have to just kind of get used to it? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So Arne Slot, I mean, how many defeats is it? 17 or 18? Like, isn't he close to the record that Liverpool like of the most defeats? I'm sure he's close to that record. Um, it's just been a shit show from him. I'll be honest with you, and I think that's the killer more than anything else. It's just been so poor from a tactical aspect. Now, there are certain games anyway that I've watched and I've said I can't blame the manager for that. Definitely, and we'll talk about the players soon. So there is that side of things. But you set up against PSG to go into survival mode. What team do you think Liverpool are? Like, I feel like that's just more of an indictment of you as an individual. You feel so inferior. Now, granted, I totally understand in terms of not thinking that you're inferior, because I don't feel like you should be thinking that. I don't think anyone should be thinking that they're inferior to anybody, like, because technically speaking, we're all inferior to the King of England. So should we behave in that way? Well, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to think you're of a level of standing, maybe not equal standing, because we're not of equal standing to the King, but of a standing, right, where you can be a bit more respected. I don't really feel like he kind of went into the game like that. I'm talking about more the first leg than anything, right? Second leg, you're already 2-0 down, so you had nothing really to lose. And even then, I didn't really feel that you kind of pushed it on. But just in a general sense, it's almost like and listen, everyone knows I always had my personal beef with Jurgen Klopp, right? But one thing I can never say about Klopp, this guy won't shook on nobody. He didn't give two, bruv. Liverpool played against AC Milan at the San Siro with Nat Phillips at the back, and Klopp said, I don't give a F about that. We're playing the way that we play. How about that? How about that? We're playing the way that we play. Now, granted, it was foolish at times, but what you can't say and what I can commend is the sheer fact that you were able to, you stuck to your convictions, courage of your convictions. You were able to still say, I don't care about that. I'm going to still play the way that I want to play. I'm going to impose what I want to impose, regardless of who we've got on the team. Now, again, like I said, at times very naive. So there is that caveat. But he still had that. I feel like Arne Slot doesn't really have that. I feel like with him, it's always about like, he's a football guy. He's like me. He likes football. We like certain, we're quite snobbish. And I know everyone always, Savage always says that about, but I am a snob. I like a certain type of football. I like the Barcelona PSG style of football. I feel like any other style for me just looks very brutish, very, very dry. I like Vincent Company. I like the pass move, the elegant players, the neat football type. I like that. That's just me, obviously my own personal preference, right? I don't really like any other style of football. I didn't like Jurgen Klopp's style, but it was exciting to a certain degree. But I didn't really like it. It's not really my type of football. Arne Slot's the same way. He loves that type of football. He don't really like any other type of football. He wants the total football, i.e., well, he is Dutch. So you come up against Man City, you've come up against Arsenal, you've come up against PSG, all of these teams twice, 3 times in just this season alone. And in every game that you played against these teams who are the better teams out there, you've come in with this kind of inferior thing about you. You've not really left your own tactical identity on those kind of teams or against those kind of teams. And I look at that like, and I'm just like, it doesn't really make sense. You spent more time complaining about other teams and the way that they play than you have about focusing on your own team losing 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, losing 4-1 to PSV, to then lose to Manchester City 3-0, drawing to Leeds. Like these are mad results like that you're having, like mad results that you're having. Drawing to a Tottenham side who can't pick up a point to save their lives. They are struggling. Like Tottenham look like they will get relegated. But the way that you've set up in all of these games, now granted, not in every game is it going to be. There are some games where I felt like it's just been more down to obviously the team's made a mistake and stuff like that, right? And I feel that maybe you not necessarily deserve to lose. You've not really done enough to win, but you might have not necessarily deserved to lose, but you have obviously done enough to not lose the game. Let's put you that in that kind of bare minimum, in itself, right? So yeah, I'm more lost with that, your own identity and what you're trying to do. You kept playing Gakpo at a point. Now you're deciding to obviously, start a Rio and whatnot and whatnot. Cool, whatever you might say because of minutes, blah, blah, blah. You may think he was not ready. You see him more than we do. Cool. I can't really argue with that one because I don't have the factual evidence behind it. But Gakpo, yeah, definitely no. Definitely no. Florian Wirtz, what if he's now staying? Yeah, I'm gonna be having a bigger conversation about Florian Wirtz. A very, very big convo. Like I've already had that convo. It's gonna get bigger now that if he is going to stay for next season. What is Florian Wirtz's role in the team? I'm almost starting to think, yeah, maybe if Florian Wirtz actually just played central midfield, he could be one of the 3 players that I was talking about who can play the type of football that maybe Arne Slot wants. Because right now I'm lost. Like I don't really understand. People keep throwing up stats about, yeah, he's created these chances and this, that, and I don't care. Like what is your job on the pitch? Again, that goes back to Arne Slot. Like the job of your fullbacks, what is their job? Do you want them high and wide? Do you need them to cut in? Are they going to be in positions like how we see like a Marquinhos for PSG, who's in these attacking areas? Hakimi, who seems to always be like up front. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do, but make up your mind as to what it is you want to do. Because 1 minute you do this, the next minute you do that, then we're going into a back 3. Now it's okay, we make up your mind. So indecisive, very reactionary in games, late substitutions. These are all this has got nothing to do with the player. This is all on you. And this then compiles because once it starts to set in and the team is already losing and low on morale and all this, bro, it's hard to get out of it. It's going to be very, very hard for you to get out of that, bro. So when you're not doing it, that's when I then become a little bit like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it becomes like, I don't really know anymore. I really, really don't know. And I just think that I feel like he's almost got a level of arrogance, whether that's warranted or not. But I do feel like he's got a level of arrogance where he almost feels as if it doesn't really matter, so to speak, because I know what I can do. I know what I've done. So I know that my idea is going to work once the pieces are kind of here. But I'm like, what pieces? The season is so bad. I don't know what that looks like anymore. I really don't. For your sake, more than anything else. You've lost so many games this season, bro. You ain't lost 5, 6 where you're like, oh, losing a bit too much, but okay, it's only 5, 6. Like, it's not a madness. But you lost so many games this season. We're into double digits of the amount of games that you have lost. I need to even find out. Is it close to 20 games that this guy has lost? How many matches has Slot lost this season? Liverpool have lost. It's coming. Was it 18, 19? He's lost 10 in the league already. This was the defeat to PSG. That was after the first defeat. So he's on 18. So yeah. Okay, yeah. So 19 is the record. That's the record. Imagine that. I'm saying he's reaching a record. So the record is 19 defeats in a single season for Liverpool for a manager, right? He's on 18 right now. He's probably lucky that we don't have any more Champions League games left, because then it opens it up where you've only got the Premier League. Can you just draw the rest of the games? Because that's a record that you don't want. If you beat that record, I don't understand how the ownership look at that and say, yeah, no, it's okay. He lost 21 games or 20 games, for example, in a season. That's fine. We can just move forward with that, because it can just be seen as a blip. Again, goes back to what we said about the ball, what I said about the board. What is your sense of direction? He doesn't seem like he has one, and I don't trust him. But what are you trying to do? Because you're almost facilitating that now. You're almost enabling that now. Friend wants to lose weight. Guess what? I'm gonna keep eating McDonald's though, around this person. Are you hungry? Come on, I'll buy you a burger. I'll buy you some wings from Wingstop and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get you what's that name in KFC in time? What's that thing in KFC? The not a meal deal, like a zinger and whatever, like a zinger meal. I'll get you that. Don't worry, no, it's on me. It's on me. I'll buy that for you. These times it's the same friend that's trying to lose weight, but you're offering him these stuff. That's what Liverpool owners are doing with Arne Slot. You're just enabling the behavior right now, and you're making it seem like it's okay. You might give him a talking to every now and again. Hey, come on, man, fatten up. But there is no, there is nothing really behind that. Big up Tyrone. He said the club already didn't back him in Jan when he needed reinforcements, so that also gives mixed messages about if they will keep him next season. If the plan was to keep him, surely you back him in Jan. But we know how Liverpool move, though. We know how Liverpool move. Liverpool are not on signing players in Jan whatsoever, unless it's a player like obviously signing Jackie. But unless it's a player that they feel like, yeah, no, but we're gonna sign. We was gonna sign him anyway. Let's just sign him now, type thing. That's what Liverpool are kind of about. They're not really that type of, yeah, January signings. Gahey would have been a good deal to kind of get, but for some reason they just didn't want to go back in, and it is what it is. Morning to you, Moses. 9 players could leave this summer. No, we're gonna get onto the players in a sec anyway, because yeah, them man. But yeah, that's kind of my thing with Arne Slot anyway in this current moment in time. But like I say, it's a catch-22. It's just a catch-22, because like I said, it's just difficult, because I am like, the reality is, if they are going to keep the manager, then there really isn't much that I can like really moan about. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what can I realistically say? If they're going to keep him, they're going to keep him. Now I'm begging you to just play better football. I'm begging you now to just do something different, because otherwise, bro, like I said, I don't really even watch the games like that anyway. But you're going to get more people not watching the games. I'm hearing from people who go to the games quite frequently that there's been a lot more tickets available. Tickets are actually becoming available for Liverpool. So if anybody who wants to go, just genuinely, who hasn't been or hasn't been in a very long time, go and look, go and check. Apparently, again, I don't know, allegedly, tickets are becoming a lot more available, because season ticket holders, people who go to games regularly, they're giving up their tickets. That's telling you that people don't really want to be there. I'm more talking about like locals and people who go regularly. Obviously, the man in wherever would just go if you've not been to Liverpool. I get that, and that's what we need, fans from everywhere. But in a general sense, in terms of the local feel, it almost feels like, yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, I don't really want to go. And now the season is just petering out. Now it really is Arsene Wenger settings, top 4. Top 4, we celebrate that, and then we bounce. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. So now we move on to the players, man. The players. Because yeah, these players are yeah. Yeah. These players are something else. I'm going to tell you that for free. These players are something else. Obviously I've got what's his name here? I've got Mo Salah obviously up on the screen. But I mean, we could talk about everybody. I'll keep it a buck. We could easily talk about everybody. It wouldn't be that difficult. It really wouldn't be that difficult. I don't even know where to start with that. Well, I'll start off with Mo Salah just for the sake of it, right? Obviously, he's leaving now anyway, so I'm gonna ease him up because he's my favorite player in this current Liverpool team, right? But damn, you went outside. And I'm tired of Liverpool as a club keeping players for time. I don't want to keep players for time. I hate it. It bugs me. Why do you always have to keep players well past their sell by date? Sell them, man. Sell them. We're not keeping players like Benzema, Ronaldo, fucking Messi, and they're not that type of player, bro. You can sell them and get someone else. It's not that deep. It's proper not that deep, bro. I said it last season. As much as I know everyone was obviously getting onto Salah, getting onto when I say getting onto Salah in a sense of we watched the performances. We watched how we didn't really feel the performances were there, but obviously he was scoring goals. He was stat padding essentially, but he was doing it regardless of how you see that. He was doing it. He was the only one doing it, kind of thing. Gakpo and Diaz were very just calm. Let me not say they were dead. They were just calm. That would have been calm in a team that has a Mo Salah as an example. But if that was your highest goal scorers and stuff like that, you'd be like, kind of thing. But they were calm. I'm not going to complain. They were calm, right? That was the last of Mo Salah. That he was never getting better than that. That was plainly obvious. Like, you could just tell, like, he held Liverpool to ransom, in my personal opinion. Like, he held Liverpool to ransom. Liverpool owners and needed to show face in a certain type of way. It was a win-win for him. He got the money. Now he can bounce for free. Now he can just bounce for free. And it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. You just bounce for free, right? Florian Wirtz. He's another player, right? Florian Wirtz, as I've said before, I can't blame you for how much Liverpool signed for you, but I am also wondering why did Liverpool spend that amount of money on a player of that kind of level with that kind of ability? As I keep saying, if you're going to spend that type of money, I need to see your minimum level on a consistent basis, regardless of how good or bad the team is, needs to be of like a Joao Neves. Yeah, probably needs to be of like a Joao Neves level of today. Because I think Vitinha is just a little bit better. But I couldn't really argue. But yeah, you almost need to be at that level for 116 million, considering Joao Neves only cost like 50, 60 or whatever it was. You cost double that almost. And this, I don't care how for 160 million, the type of player that you're signing is above the tactics. You see Mbappe, now obviously free, but signing on, but whatever, cool. We know that Mbappe is like 150 million essentially, right? But we'll say he was free, right? You see Mbappe, Madrid are dead. They have been dead since he got there. You see how many goals he got? 40s. You know why? I still eat. I'm still of the level. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I will still do what I was brought here to do. Forget the other, and he's got better players. Tchouameni's behind him. Valverde's, Camavinga's, even though he's a bit, but Camavinga's, Vinicius Junior's. Do you get what I'm trying to? And he still eats. He's still eating. Wirtz, I'm just like, bro, like you're not eating at all. Now, granted, could you have had a few more assists? Yeah, I hear all of that, but I don't even care about that. I'm saying I need you to be above the tactics. I need you to be above that, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep going back. That money, I need you to be above that shit. I need you to, like, when you're on the pitch, there needs to be a clear distinction that you are above the rest of that team. But you're not. Zobo's had a better season than you. Easily, like, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I can give you a small blight, new season, new manager, team not doing well. So, of course, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I need him to be at freaking Lamine Yamal level. No, obviously, I'm not going to expect that. But for that price and the way people spoke about you before you came, and I didn't even want you in the first place, Unfortunately for you, my expectations of you now have just skyrocketed. I said it at the beginning of the season. I said, bro, for that kind of money, yeah, I need almost Ballon d'Or numbers. You know, just for me to even think, okay, yeah, that was probably worth it because this guy's getting doubles. Do you know what I'm saying? Triple doubles. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's doing a madness kind of thing. Even if the team is doing badly. Haaland still ate, and Man City were crap last season. He still eats because players of that level will always eat regardless. There is nothing to do with the team. People need to stop using the team as some form of an excuse. If you're of the level, the team around you is irrelevant because you are of the level. People keep telling me, yeah, Florian Wirtz, he needs this to play with him. Why does he need that? He doesn't need any of that. He just needs to be better. That's it. He just needs to be better. That is it. He doesn't need a six next to him. He doesn't need faster wingers. He doesn't need different wingers. He just needs to be better. That is it. Like it's very simple. But that's just him. Gravenberch. Gravenberch, he has been shit. He has been shit. I don't care what no one says. He has been shit. He has been shit. You know what I mean? Like he's actually been very, very dead. Give me 2 seconds, people. Give me 2 seconds. I think my thing is starting to bug out. Yeah, hopefully you guys can obviously hear me, I think. I think it just started to bug out there. Give me 2 seconds, people. I'm just going to drop out and then drop back in again. All right, hopefully it's working now. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me see if I can almost hear my Yeah, it should be working now. Let me know if you guys can obviously hear me or you can't hear me or you see me or you can't see me. And I'll take it from there. Yeah, it should be working now. Yeah, I can hear myself. But yeah, Gravenberch, been shit. McAllister is, I don't even know at this point. Like you just got to sell that kind of player. Jones, again, Jones is like, does the manager rate him? Does he not rate him? Van Dijk been crap this season in my personal opinion by his standards. Who else is there? Obviously, Kirkes and Frimpong, I think, have just been dead. Obviously, Isaac's just been injured, but he's been shit the other time. Salah been shit this season. Gakpo been shit this season. Yeah, like the players have to take quite a lot of blame, and that is more, I guess, my kind of point is that the players are not really taking enough of the responsibility from, like, for themselves. If I'm being 100% honest with you, it almost feels like, yes, we're going to blame the manager, yes, we're going to say the manager's this, that, and the third, but ultimately it is the players as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It is the players as well. So yeah, the amount of injuries is the worst, and obviously from lack of proper training, this falls on Coach Darren. Yeah, and of course, that's what I'm saying. This is just more me to ask. This video, this stream is more for people to kind of let me know where do you kind of sit and how do you kind of see it in that kind of way. Is it the manager? Is it the board? Is it the players? I could reel through the team, obviously, but I'm just gonna leave it there in that regards, right? Because the reality is, like, yeah, it will start to get really dark. It will start to get really, really dark. Um, the last bit, show you guys here is the fans. Now, obviously, I heard Enz talking about this yesterday. Big up to himself. I heard him talking about this yesterday about, I think it's just before I came on the stream actually, and obviously they were talking about like, as fans, essentially are we playing a part in all of this? And it's kind of what I said at the beginning of this stream, in regards to everything, because I do feel as fans we have a part that we can play, and I just don't think that we're playing that part relatively well, because I do think that we allow for quite a lot. Again, we are a club that do live under the ideology of loyalty and stuff like that. And of course, as I said before, there is something to be said about that, but ultimately that will then become your downfall. Well, in my opinion anyway, I feel like it's going to become your downfall because of that level of loyalty, because of the sheer fact that, you know, you're not then willing to even, you've got your Liverpool tinted glasses on, so you're not willing to almost see anything else. And because you're not willing to see anything else, everything starts to look a little bit, yeah, like a bit weird in terms of the conversations. Now the conversations are never genuine, because it's like, yeah, everyone's got this bias, and I understand you're going to have bias towards your football team. I get that. I really, really do understand why you would be biased towards your football team, because it's your football team. You support them. You want the best for them, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is sometimes I'm like, hey, you can just be honest. I can't keep lying about my son. My son's not that smart, for example. He's very smart, by the way. But if someone was like, if he wasn't that smart or whatever, can I just keep, brushing it under the rug? No, no, don't worry. No, no, don't worry. No, no, don't worry. It will come. It will come. It will come. At what point are you even just taking responsibility? Now, of course, as fans, actively we can't necessarily do anything, but we at the same time we almost can. You can just stop going to games. You can voice your opinion a bit more. You can, and I think this is more to the social media side of things. The conversations that people are having, no one is. It seems like anyway, for some people that I listen to, it seems like people are not willing to even understand or see the other side, to see another POV. You're like, when it was the whole about the manager and whether he should go and blah blah blah, at the time anyway, right? Now obviously this is during the time period when I feel quite a lot of people just obviously had just had enough, and etc etc, right? One of the things that I kind of took from it was people who wanted the manager to stay were seen as a more real fan, because in those people's eyes they felt it was a case of that's what real fans do. And then they looked at the people who wanted the manager to go as, you can't be a real fan, you can't be someone who goes to games often, you can't be someone who understands the football club because you want the manager out. Ironic, those same people are the ones who want the manager out, right? Ironic that. But those people were almost trying to sit from a position of being quite high and mighty, which is what used to bug me more than anything, because I used to sit there and think, you can have the opinion of keep the manager or don't, brother, it's your opinion. Like that's the irrelevant part of this. But don't sit there from a position of like, you are somewhat better, you are a better fan. Because one of the things I always say is, okay, well, I need to see this certificate that you people have. For all you people who keep telling everybody about going to the games and where's your certificate? Show me your certificate for being a real fan. If I can see your medal, then calm. Whatever, medal, certificate, I need to see it. Because the way you're going on, you'd think you've got a Champions League medal sitting in your yard, but you don't. You actually don't. You're just a normal person who goes to football games and has the luxury of going to football games. Not everybody has that luxury. So it doesn't matter whether player or person X can go to games or not go to games. Their opinion isn't less diminished because of that. It's an opinion. You are not right because you go to games. You're not right because you live, and I'm not saying Liverpool fans do this. Well, not all anyway. I know some do, but I'm not saying that as an absolute. But just because you live there doesn't mean that you what you say matters more because you go to the games and the feel inside the ground. I remember Jamie Carragher talking about the feel in it. Who cares about the feel inside the ground? That means nothing. Like it actually means nothing. It's just an opinion. That opinion might be wrong. Now what? Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, well, now what then? If that opinion is now wrong and it's been proven to be wrong, then what? That was always my thing. And that was what I got more annoyed at with the whole, do you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? The arguments, then everyone was all, going back and forth. But that was what pissed me off more than anything. Because the fans, I just felt like you lot are, the argument is not even becoming about slot in or out now. It's actually now becoming more about just fans in a general sense and whether or not you are a real fan or not a real fan. I'll be honest, I couldn't give two shits whether you feel that I'm a real fan or not a real fan. I don't care. Guess what? I support Barcelona too. Now what? Can't support two teams? Guess what? I have. And I do. Have done for a long time. A very long time. Did you get what I'm saying? Am I less of a fan? Then so be it. Then I'm less of a fan. I don't need the validation from it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't. I don't understand why people feel they need that level of validation. It doesn't. Again, it's not going to minimize anything that I'm saying because you guys know I'm a straight talker. I just say it how it is anyway. So that's not going to minimize what I'm saying because of well, you support this team, you support that. Well, who cares? These damn Savage watches freaking Dortmund, Real Madrid, and Liverpool. Does that minimize anything Savage says? No. Does Savage have more knowledge of football than a lot of people that I know and listen to? Hell yeah, of course he does. Of course he does. Like it makes no difference. And I feel like that was the problem with the fans is that instead of being one, and instead of trying to almost like unite behind a decision, whether or forget even uniting against a decision because obviously still people will sit they're on either side. How about the focus just remain on what it's supposed to focus, what it's supposed to be on, right? Focus on that. Stay true to that. That's fine. Then we can move on. Blah blah blah. It is what it is. But fans, too many of these fans, people call me a snob. Too many of you fans were moving super snobbish. You thought you were better than everybody. Like I said, same said fans have now changed their mind. I couldn't give two shits about everyone said, yeah, but you chat. No. You see, when you're wrong and strong, stay that side. Stay that side, Maggie. Stay that side. There's no, yeah, you're just gonna come back now and no. There's none of that. You can't do that now. You were so wrong and strong. You were so wrong and strong. And you didn't want to hear any other side or any other point of view. So stay there. I don't want to hear it. That's why now when I see people who are on that side and I hear them talking about, yeah, no, I think the manager should go. I'm just like, you don't have the credibility anymore. You've lost it. It's done now. No one cares. There's a lot of them out there. The big ones on social media. I promise you, you guys know who they are. They're out there. I've seen them. I've seen the tweets, and I laugh. I laugh and laugh and laugh because I'm just like, how hypocritical. How hypocritical. But listen, everybody pumps out their chest when it's time to pump out their chest, I guess, isn't it? It's just one of them kind of things. And I think for me, it's just more about that with the fans, is that fans spent too much time going at each other than actually at the problem. So then that problem almost was able to just carry on, being shit. And Liverpool weren't losing games, but they weren't winning many games either, kind of thing in like a really big stretch of period of time, right? Manager's still here. No one's really moaning about it though, because everyone's all like, nah, but you're an enemy of the club and you're this, and well, I think this and that. And I'm like, brother, like you're so tapped, as Trudon said. You're so tapped. You're so tapped that you've just lost focus. So now don't be sitting here crying your eyes out now that he's stating that, or allegedly it seems like Arne Slot is staying. Nah, bro. You're done. You're done, Terras. You're done. Big up. Didn't get the notification you were live, bro. You should have. I told you yesterday, bro. Put the notification bell on. I don't know why. To be fair, YouTube has been moving a bit funny. Every time I go into my studio, there's always a message of some type of issue recently. So I don't know. I don't know. Slot is ruining the club. We have to get him out of LFC. Bruv, I feel like he's staying now. Like, we just got to get used to it. But we'll talk about it once that's more confirmed. The Liverpool fans would hate me. Real Madrid on my Spanish team. Juve. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, the Juve thing is actually funny. Not funny, but it's an interesting one. Them man who say you are a real fan because you are not a Scouse. Bro, it's just mad. Like I said, Liverpool fans are just, they're so tapped with their whole, the way just everything is. I blame all of them, but mainly Slot. No, again, that's fair. You guys decide. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you decide yourself as to who the hell you feel is, would I say, to blame, so to speak. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, man, as a studio. Yeah, you guys decide yourself. This is more me just trying to section everything off and have everybody look at everything from each point of view, and then we can come up with that decision, whether it's now, whether it's at a later date. It doesn't really matter. It's just more to just, well, who do we blame then? Because, or even, you know what, I guess a question is to ask is there even anyone to blame? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, is there even anyone to blame at this point? Because if there's no one really to even blame, then maybe, as we say, it's just more about, it's just more of a collective, more than anything else. Is it more of that? Is it more of that? Isn't it? Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Jerry's now Man City. Like, bro, does that mean I'm gonna minimize bruv? Like, come on, bruv. Like, he's one of the people I speak to the most. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the people I see the most. So, yeah. Like, yeah. It's like I say, man. Sorry, I'm just checking something. But yeah, like, I just think that for Liverpool moving forward, whose fault is it? This, that, and the third. I guess really and truly, it's more of a collective for me anyway. It's more of a collective. It is more of a case of everybody's to blame. You can, if it's if you obviously have it as a total of like 100% as an example, right? And you could maybe give, I would say I would give 50% to the manager, 60% to the manager, 30% to the players, 8% to the owners, and then 2% to the fans. Roughly. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, roughly. That's probably how much I'll do it. Yeah. 60% the manager, 30% the players, yeah, 8% the board, and then 2%. Yeah, 2%. So yeah. Let me know. I would love to know what kind of percentage that you guys would actually put this at. That's actually kind of interesting. Let me check this out real quick. Let's see the poll. I even forgot I did it. You know, sometimes I always forget that I do these polls. Let's see what that turned out to be before we finish up here, guys. If you've got any questions or anything like that, now is your time to ask me it. Hurry up with the poll, no? All right. I just want to end the poll. All right, let's end it. All right, so there's 47 votes. 38% said Arne Slot. 32% said all the above. 28% said Edwards and Hughes. Only 2% of you said 2% of 47 votes. That's very interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. I would have thought it would have been a bit more than that. Can't lie. Only 2% of you went with that. That is interesting. That is interesting. Let's see some of the most blame falls to Sloth. I said Sloth. We got Hisham, man. Salah would have started against PSG in Rio. We might have had a shout in the game. I feel like that tie was done. Edwards wanted all the power to come back to the club, and he was given it. He brought in his buddy Hughes, and they got together to find a yes man. Big up Tony. Yeah, maybe so. You know, when again, John Henry and that, but we just thinking, bro, we just need someone in. Klopp's gone now. Edwards can come back. I do find it funny that Klopp goes and then Edwards comes back. Whether it's coincidental, I don't know. It's ultimately the ownership. If a company is failing, you look at the CEOs, the owners first, then the directors, then the employees. I hear it. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, when you look at it from that, and to be fair, it is an institution, ultimately a football club. So yeah, I hear it. We need to get back to the nostalgia streams. Yeah, no. You know what it is? Because I ain't got now, obviously, I'll show you guys. So obviously where I've got like the other channel. So when you guys go on my if you guys go on like my homepage, obviously you can see if you click I think if you click home and then you scroll down, obviously guys, you can check out my my shop as well. Again, you know me, I'm not really someone who's I don't really care about promoting that stuff. That was just more some cool little designs that I kind of did. If you guys like it, grab something. If you don't like it, you don't grab something like that. I don't actually really care about that kind of stuff. So I'll put that in the comment section now. So yeah, look, check it out. See anything there you like, you want to support. Again, by all means, do your thing. But yeah, obviously, if you go on my channel homepage, you guys can check. I've got a lot of other channels now. Like now we are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think maybe like 8 or 9, maybe even 10. All different types of channels, people. All different types of channels. So yeah, like I say, go on my homepage after this stream. Just check it out. I feel like there'll be something for everybody. I feel like I've got it diverse enough that there will be something for everybody. I'm also gonna have a cartoon channel that's gonna be coming out just before the World Cup as well. So yeah, be like just like fun little short stories and stuff like that. Little adventures. I know all of that kind of stuff. Check it out. I feel like there's something for everybody. Whether you're a mum, whether you're a dad, teenager, whatever, there's something for everybody. So yeah, man, just check it out. Check it out. The players don't get on with the manager. I think that's where the problem lies. I definitely think the players don't really necessarily believe in what's being said. Like, so then you're almost seeing their actions being executed in this kind of way. That I will say. That I will say. The Prem is a bit annoying to be indulging in still at this current moment in time. Brother, come on, man. Like it's boring. You know what? What I'll end this on is last night, right? And you know, I actually just saw a tweet, to be fair. Let me actually read it. Hold on. What if yeah. So last night, obviously, we saw probably one of the best games. I can't think of any other game in the UCL because I haven't watched that many. But we saw one of the best games in the UCL this season, Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. That level of quality that I was watching, I loved it. Now people speak about like the defensive side, and I always say this, right? One, that's not the norm for those two teams anyway. Like these two teams will never really go hammer and tongs like that because of just the nature of those two teams. And the kind of oppositions that they're always coming up against. They're always going to be more or less the better team. But when we're watching elite players play, I feel like that's the kind of game that you would get. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that is the kind of football you would get. Like, let's take out Barcelona, Pep Guardiola as an example, right? Because obviously that I feel like that's just always an anomaly and you can't really use them. When you're prime example, you watch Liverpool and Manchester City. As much as I said, yeah, Klopp's not my style of football, but you watch two teams with that many elite players on either side. What happens? You have those kind of games. You have a hammer and tongs game. You have a game where it's just going to happen in that kind of way because kind of thing. It's only really later on, I would say, where at times maybe a clock might think, we can't really, you know what I mean? Like the game might end in a draw, 2-2s. Do you get what I'm saying? FA Cup games, semi-final at Wembley. Do you get like we get these kind of games? Like I feel like that's just normal when two teams are of almost equal standing in terms of their level and they've got enough quality players on either side. People talk about the Premier League being the Premier League, and I get it, and blah blah blah, competitive, yada yada yada. But when I watch the Premier League, there's a clear disparity between, say, like an Arsenal and I don't know, a Burnley, and or you know, no, even say Burnley. There's a clear disparity between like an Arsenal and even like an Everton. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a level, like there's just like this mad level kind of thing. But also as well, I just think that there's not also enough quality players in the Premier League in terms of one thing my friend was saying to me, right? Because obviously we was talking about like the quality of like the quality of the leagues, the quality of teams, like which league do we feel is the best league? And obviously I always say La Liga because I'm like, I feel that La Liga, I feel like the best means you've got the best players. In my opinion, La Liga has the most best players out there, right? Obviously, PSG got something to say about that. But yeah, I feel like even if you said across three teams, they've got more better players than the Premier League does, right? I don't feel like the Premier League has that many elite players anyway, or players I would consider to be world class. Whereas I feel like in La Liga, even if it's just those three teams, they have more than the Premier League have in 20 teams, you know, kind of thing. And to be fair, it's only going to be maybe like 2 or 3, even in the Premier League, and even they are not of that kind of level. So when I'm thinking about just quality, he said to me, like, you know, he feels the quality in the Premier League is obviously a lot more spread out. So he feels like there isn't the gap. I feel like there is still a gap between, say, top and bottom, like they would in any league, but I still feel like there is that kind of gap. But it might not be as big of a gap as, say, in La Liga, in the Bundesliga, in Ligue 1. And I feel like that's the difference between the two, is that there's always going to be a gap regardless. Obviously, there's always going to need to be a hierarchy of top teams and bottom teams. In the Premier League, it's just a lot closer. So that's why people say this is the best league. It's the toughest. I'm like, yeah, well, when you're not that good anyway, everybody's almost of that same kind of level, give or take, barring the Arsenal and Wolves. And I'm pretty sure Wolves beat Arsenal the other day, but cool. But barring that kind of gap between the two first and 20th, yeah, like most of the teams in the Premier League, they're probably all of the similar kind of level. There are a few players, yeah, calm or cool, but they're all. I feel like the Premier League is very close in quality. Now, for competitiveness, that might be good, but I don't really care about all of that. I just want to see the best players play, and I want to see all the good players play. I don't really care about the quality of this and that and blah blah blah, because I always feel like there's always a fairy tale within those kind of, like, when you've got competitiveness like how you've got in the Premier League, it's almost just everything's the same. There is no real storyline here. It's not that shocking that Wolves beat Liverpool. It's not that shocking that Wolves can beat an Arsenal. It's not that shocking that Burnley can beat a Chelsea, as an example. I don't know if they have, but just as an example, Sunderland came up from the Championship, beat Chelsea. Like, are we shocked by it? We're like, nah. We kind of not expect it, but it doesn't shock you. There is no story there. It's boring to me. Whereas if Levante go away to the Bernabeu and win, yo, that is massive. That's crazy. Story there. How do they do it? What players have they got? All of a sudden now it's a bit different. The narrative, in my opinion, the narrative is different. A team other than Bayern Munich win the league. Look how big that was. Look at the players. Like, I just feel like the Premier League is all samey. Like, it's literally just the samey. Yeah, oh yeah, everyone can beat everyone. Oh, okay, cool. That's okay. Like, okay. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it really is like, okay. Like, is that something that you care about? Like, I don't really care that everyone can beat everybody. Like, that doesn't mean anything for me anyway. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But it's a different conversation. It's a different kind of thing. But we'll leave it there. Big up to everybody. Big up AR. I know you just obviously joined in late. Big up Morris, True, Don, Scraps, Wayne, Luge, obviously every single time. Hash in the building. Kevin. Big up Pallets. I'm probably saying that wrong, but you know me, I'm a clown. Big up Tom in the building. Big up Moses as well. Biggs, goal ratio. Welcome to the unknown. Tyrone, big up to your damn self. Big up Jaskan in the building. Is there anybody else? I'm just scrolling. M-Tom Mizzy, my G. Obviously Scraps, of course, you know the vibes already. Yeah, I shouldn't have missed anybody. I feel like that's everybody who commented in there. I don't know when I'll be back. What's the what's the last? It was the PSG game. I watched that game. Remember, I did the watch along with Ends. I was on the watch along with Ends. So I watched that game. I watched that game. Palace winning the Conference League at least. Yeah, now come on. You know the vibes. We can win that tournament. We can. Hey, look, you don't want Palace to win the Conference League. I promise you guys now, you don't want that. It will be long. What, Palace won a European trophy before Arne Slot? Now it starts to get a little bit dark. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Trying to think when the next video. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? I might do. Yeah, I might even do one tomorrow. I got another video. Obviously, I put a video out yesterday. Aurelio De Laurentiis. He was obviously talking about the changes that he would propose to football. So obviously I did that video. Just trying to think, what else have I got? I think I've got a video dropping. Yes, I do. I do have a video dropping later this evening, probably around about 6 p.m. I'm just going to be doing a lot of recording today anyway. I'm quite free today, actually. So yeah, I've got this dropping later on today. Mark Goldbridge obviously sold his well, some people say he sold his soul. I don't believe that, but that's what the streets be saying. So yeah, got that video obviously coming out, so make sure you guys obviously look out for that. And then obviously this was the video that I did earlier on in regards to De Laurentiis, just in regards to his rules and what he's trying to do in football. So yeah, those are a couple of videos. I'm trying to do some more videos. The thing is, I've actually got like a list of 5 more videos I even need to record in itself. So yeah, there's going to be content. There's definitely going to be content. So I just need you guys hit the notification bells. I know AR, you're saying that it didn't come up, but it's calm. It is what it is. Yeah, I've got a lot of content coming, a lot, not just on this channel, on all the other channels. So if you're not subscribed, by the way, to the channels, please just head on over there, just subscribe. That's all I'm asking. Even if you don't watch it, you know what? It just makes my thing look better because you've subscribed. So head on over to the home tab, hit that subscribe button. And then, yeah, Bob's your uncle. Bob's your uncle. And yes, we will be doing it without Gay. But yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope everyone stays blessed. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy work. And yeah, big up to everybody who was inside today. I'll catch you soon.